And I see it's gone to some astrology. Well, baby, I can see your face.
Welcome to I Am Reminiscent, where astrology meets intuition. Let's deep dive into the stars and uncover the messages waiting for you. All right. This week, from November 25th until December 1st, we're going to look at the astrology. So, this week, the moon is going to be very busy, getting ready for the new moon, Sagittarius. So, especially with this Libra moon and all these squares that are going to take place right off the bat between Sunday and Monday, Monday going into Tuesday. So with the fluctuating moods, this gives us an ability to discover some hidden truths and use them to transform into a more powerful, independent person. Learn your own rhythm, or I'm reading some of my notes. Learn your own rhythm or a specific area where you may have relied too much on the outside world and take your power back. Okay, this is very good awakening energy. I see a lot of more attractiveness to matriarchal energy, and where there is more matriarchal energy, there will be more investment going on. So, heavy Venus energy, right? So, some big things that are happening this week, of course, the biggest one that everyone has been waiting on, dun, 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 is Mercury Retrograde, Sagittarius. Okay. November 7th, Mercury pre-shadow began at 6 degrees. The retro begins on Monday, November 26th, and the retrograde ends at 6 degrees, 23 minutes on December 15th. And then the post shadow will end on January 3rd at 22 degrees, 40 minutes again. All right. And the other big thing that's happening this week is the new moon Sagittarius that takes place on December 1st. So, and I like the way that December is starting off on the number one, Sunday, number one, and the numbers kind of like just fall in line. The holiday, Thanksgiving, and the moon will be in Scorpio. Okay. And moon in Scorpio is in detriment. Okay. It's at its exaltation, is at its highest in Taurus. So it's at its lowest when it's Scorpio. And it doesn't mean that it's evil or, bad. It just means that emoting may happen a little bit more than one would like it to. And Scorpio deals with deep, intense emotions as well. So those could definitely be coming to the surface or just kind of spewing out of people a little bit more when the family gets together. There may be a lot of family secrets coming out. And Sunday, we'll start in a whole new month in December, and that's going to be the first of the month. So make sure you do your cinnamon in the front door. Bring abundance and blessings into your home on the first of the month. Rabbit, rabbit. So December is starting off with abundance, and may that be some good energy for us to keep up with. All right. Now let's get into some transits. I also wanted to astrologically touch on these things. We have a fire trine with the Sun, Sagittarius, Mars, and Leo shadow. It will station retrograde on December 6th, so watch out for that, as well as the North Node in Aries. Okay, so there's going to be some fire trine energy, and that just means that we can feel a little bit more confident, alluring, or inspired. Strict actions in regards to the things that we desire. Fire has a lot to do with desire, all right, as well as action. Venus is going to square Chiron and Lilith in Libra, as Venus is in Capricorn right now. Chiron is retrograde in Aries, and Venus is also going in conjunct Jupiter as well. Okay, so this has a lot to do with healing how we see our value, especially when it comes to the divine feminine energies in our lives. Whether you're a male or a female, it doesn't matter. We all have divine feminine energy, and those values are going to be required, like I was saying before, about that being more attracted to matriarchal themes, and investing in those things will require us to do some relearning as Jupiter is retrograde in Gemini. Okay, Jupiter retrograde will trine Lilith in Libra. So this is us relearning independently how we can save ourselves and be more self-sufficient. Again, like I was saying before about transforming out of relying too much on another person or another, you know, figure or person or thing outside of us and putting that energy back into us, relearning how we can actually do that. Chiron retrograde in Aries is going to trine over to Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius. So again, healing energy is either heal or be healed with Chiron. And with the fire energy, again, us building our confidence back up. That can be as far as creating affirmations, putting more exercise into our schedule, because this week can be a bit topsy turvy, especially with the Libra moon and all these squares that's going to happen when the moon is in Libra, as well as when it goes into Sagittarius. So just briefly looking over Monday, I wrote Monday down as like a breakup type of energy day. There may be karmic meetups happening or opportunity for you to end something instead of renew a karmic contract. The Libra moon is all about making decisions. Some ultimatums may be forced in certain relationships, but this gives us the opportunity to kind of break up some attachments to certain ideas and remain at the same time open to this karmic situation being over. Not, and when you remain open, especially your heart space remain open, that gives you an opportunity to quantum leap into a timeline that is of your highest vibration. With the moon trining over to Pluto about 10 a.m. Eastern time at 0 degrees, that's that we're going to feel that regeneration with our intuition, allowing us to see where things need to be adjusted in our life. And that's where we get the karmic breakups that will take place. Okay, this is also about remembering what you know. This moon is connected to memory, and Pluto being in Aquarius. Aquarius is all about what you know, right? A Tuesday is a 9. So again, we're still in this ending energy, but the ending is being solidified. And we're starting to see the wisdom that comes with ending these contracts or these karmic ways of thinking. There is going to be a huge adjustment, or we may be seeing the need to adjust how we spend our money and how we value or how we want to be seen will be adjusted. We want people to see us with a higher value system and relationships moving, you know, from this point forward, whether it's on social media or you're taking certain classes or watching certain videos to learn how to be more demure or more classy or more in alignment with the divine feminine energy, which is more reserved, more of a receiver. Okay, and all the fire energy with the fire trine happening this week, it can cause us to want to take actions. But those actions, especially if you're a woman and you're a fire sign woman like myself, we want to take action a lot on a lot of different things that we have, you know, been motivated to do or we just desire. However, as a woman, you still have those inclinations to be more reserved as well, because you don't want to release too much energy that you can't get back. And finding an adjustment balance with the moon in Libra will help us solidify how we can stop over giving or oversharing our energy with people or in areas where we need to be more of a receiver. With Venus squaring Chiron that day, this is where we can learn to heal or be healed when it comes to how we move and not repeat depleting of our funding or depleting our support system, because we need to start relying more on ourselves. All right, with the conjunction with Lilith at 16 degrees, which is a Cancer degree, there could be very emotional attachments to the mother or matriarchal ideas in society that we may need to invest in on an individual level. This can also work too in the opposite direction, because for every light there's a dark, right? So that might be your light side, is finding ways to integrate the matriarchal system into your life to help ease some of the stress. But the other side with the Cancer energy or the Moon energy or even the Lilith energy is that you may have to address how you've been super independent as a coping mechanism from in the past, or how you were raised, because matriarchal societies is a very independent. Women are independent. Feminine energy is independent. The masculine is not independent. The masculine is dependent upon the woman, the feminine energy. Okay. So when you are hyper independent or you're super in that matriarchal system, integrating a little bit more of the patriarchy, because we still need that masculine energy where it comes to taking action, where the fire trine will support. So there may be too much of a big attachment on needing the mother or the matriarchal society, and we have to learn how to just, allow ourselves to break free and find what works for us within a matriarchal system with our family or our households. Venus square Lilith, this is genuine power, us being attracted to someone who is genuinely powerful or have genuine values, and also being able to discern when someone is using power or attraction or a fake value system in order to gain more attention. And this is basically manipulation with Libra here in Lilith. Lilith in Libra has the ability to manipulate situation based on sexual attraction and romanticism of relationships, and we want to be aware of this happening with the square to Venus, because Venus in Capricorn, Capricorn and Libra do well together as a square energy, because they both represent integrity and justice. And when we see there's a lack of integrity, someone can do very manipulative things in order to bring that out of a person. And lesson learned, Saturn rules Capricorn, right? But the other side of that is that when you are of integrity and you see someone trying to manipulate you through sex or romanticizing the relationship, but they really don't want anything other than what they can get out of you, that's how we start to, again, cut off those necessary karmic ties, where we see people just want to feed off of us, but they're not really, giving anything for us to receive. We just constantly giving them and they're just taking. Vampirism, right? So definitely want to be mindful of that this week. As well as the fire trend will start to build up early in the week. All right. Also, looking further into the week, we have the moon square Pluto when the moon moves into Scorpio. So the Scorpio in Aquarius square, this is like a generational breakthrough that will be taking place just in time for Thanksgiving on Thursday. So Aquarius again is about knowledge, and Scorpio has a lot to do with some depths of emotions that need to rise to the surface. And there may have been some long buried emotions, whether familial or not. This can also be networks, friendships as well, where there's a lot of emotion that's just waiting, like an iceberg waiting to be melted down and transmuted into our throat chakra so we can release, and let it go. I should say, not release, but more so let it go. The moon will trine over to Pisces later on Wednesday evening, with the square between Venus and Chiron separating. So this again is about us learning our lessons and healing in relationships where we may have overused our ego, or we've allowed people to overuse their ego with us and we're giving too much. And then Scorpio here with that square is going to give us kind of like the balls or liquid courage. Somebody might have some liquid courage in their system where now they just want to let everything out about how they've been feeling for a long time and you didn't know, and finding a way to resolve it. Okay. And I feel like the resolve may come more so on Friday, the following day, where their Lilith and Jupiter will have that trine. So we get to relearn, okay, how can I take accountability for what I now have learned with this person, Gemini energy, and how can I use it to sustain myself in this relationship, Libra. Okay, where we don't fall into blurring the lines between us and another person, because someone could have some, negative emotions that they've been hiding and they finally unleash it. It doesn't mean necessarily that you're a bad person. It just means that that person needed to go through some spiritual awakening or some trigger in order for them to get that information out. So everyone who is involved, or maybe just you and that one other person, can learn and grow from the relationship and the communication. So the moon will be separating from the Saturn trine and start to in conjunct with Jupiter, sextile Venus, oppose Uranus and Taurus, and trine over to Neptune. So yeah, the moon is, again, while it's in Scorpio, is going through all of the sextiles opposition in the trine with Jupiter, Venus, Uranus, and Neptune. So with the opposition to Uranus at 24 degrees, we can definitely expect for something to shift with our money system, especially here in America, in America. We can definitely see some type of shift. There may be something happening with Bitcoin, those investments. I know that there was a release stating about how Spirit Airlines was facing bankruptcy and their stocks had plummeted. And now their stocks is being, they're back on the market, but at a very cheap rate. So it may be more reports regarding that coming out. And again, this is, like I was saying before, us adjusting our views on value and what we value and how we want to be valued, and how that happens on the macrocosm also happens on the microcosm. Okay, so just be aware of that. The trine over to Neptune, it will happen early morning on Saturday about 1 a.m. Eastern time. So if you are asleep, your dreams may alert you to some information you did not know about, or it may be a dream that is basically forcing you to deal with your emotions if you have not shared anything, or something that you've been holding on to for a long time. Also, be very aware of what you watch or what you eat before you fall asleep, because that can also give you some very crazy dreams as well. On Saturday, we enter to the balsamic moon phase, where the moon will then ingress into Sagittarius, purpose for the new moon. So during this dark moon on Scorpio, a lot of, like I was saying, hidden emotions may come out. A lot of secrets may come out that have been hidden, especially if it has to do with a woman or the mother or the matriarch in the family, things of that nature. But I also see this too during this dark moon Scorpio, because this is the shadow side, before we get to the new moon. This is where we start to plant new seeds at the new moon. So doing a ceremony where we get to let go of things, whether it's, turn the cinder during the dark moon, Scorpio. This can also be a ceremony, a spiritual bath, where we get to let go of any emotional blockages we may have, especially in our sacral, that's stopping us from being able to speak our truth. Those would be some good things to do as a new moon ritual. Okay. So as soon as the moon goes into Sagittarius and it hits Pluto, I feel like we're instantly going to feel the weight of the week kind of lighten up after everything that the Scorpio moon has done. I will start to feel like more lighthearted, you know what I'm saying? And then the moon is going to trine with the North Node at 3 degrees, and then Mars at 5 degrees Leo. So heading into the first of the month, on Sunday, we'll have that new moon 9 degree, which is a very Sagittarius energy, because 9 degrees is a Sagittarius degree. And the 2025 year numerology is going to be a 9 as well. So pay very close attention to how you enter into this month, and be mindful of the abundance that you're focused on, because what you focus on grows. Jupiter, right? Sagittarius. Okay. And 9 is all about endings, completions, and wisdom that is being offered to you from the universe, right? So Mercury retrograde is going to trine over to Chiron retrograde. This is a fire trine within a degree orb, and it will be completing. The moon will square Saturn at 12 degrees Pisces in Sag Square. All right. This is your religious view square the spiritual view. Okay. Sagittarius is the religious aspect, the religious convictions, and Pisces is the soul journey, the karmic journey that has to be learned with your spirit here on earth. Okay. So with this being a square with the moon, it will pass very quickly, but it will give you a notion into where some of your convictions are. How are you limiting yourself from having a full like soul experience here on this earth? Yes, you know your reason, yes, you know your purpose, but there's always something bigger that the most high frequency has in store for you, and you don't want to limit that. And you can use that energy to again help you jumpstart with this new moon cycle into doing the things that you want to do, doing the things that you're afraid or scared to do. That is actually a part of your life path. Now, the moon will conjunct Mercury retrograde, square Jupiter retrograde, and sextile Lilith in Libra. And again, this is moon going through its phases. With the fire trine, again, this is about confidence. This is about magnetism as well, and using that magnetism with the square to Jupiter retrograde, and the moon is gone. Well, it's actually an opposition, not a square. I'm sorry. Sag and Gemini are opposites. So this is an opportunity for you to again learn, be open to learning something. Because if we go through the square first with Sag and Pisces, this is where we're being advised that you're just, you know, not to, you know, dumb down or to limit you, but it's like to remind all of us here that there's more to than what we see a trajectory of our life. There's a lot more wisdom than we can really focus on. Like our human brains can't really, you know, it's not capable of storing all that information that the soul has in store of itself, our souls, right? So when we allow that square to challenge us to surrender to that higher power, Saturn and Pisces is asking you to surrender. Surrender to what you think you know, surrender to what, you know, let all of that go. You know what I'm saying? And some of those could be certain rituals or certain convictions that we've held through religious practices that no longer serve us. Okay. And with that releasing of that, we walk right into the opposition where it's like, okay, now that you've released that, let's learn. Okay. Because Jupiter is getting hit this week. Let's continue to relearn some new routines or some new rituals or some new ways in our view of the world and ourselves in this world that'll help us expand and reach more than to be so confined to, what does the Bible say or the Quran say or something like that. Like let's even as a spiritualist, think beyond, you know, your sun sign. Think beyond one tarot reading. Like expand, expand, expand. Okay. And all that expansion and relearning is going to require you to surrender and accept the fact that you don't know everything. Okay. And you could be dealing with, Gemini represents small children. So you could also be dealing intimately with children, and you have to, surrender to the fact that your children may know more than you do about certain topics. Okay, and not allowing your ego to get the better of you because you're ready to take action on something. Your children are here to remind you to stay grounded and stay aware that the most high frequency knows all. Okay, the mind is all. Yes, the universe is a mind. Yes, but as a human, okay, we are more dense. We have the tendency to attach to things that make us feel safe and comfortable. And there comes a point in your life journey where you have to release it. Okay. So definitely cardinal and mutable signs will be feeling it heavy this week, with so many squares. going on through the moon changes, as well as, of course, number one, Cancer with the moon, of course. um, I do want to also advise that, do your grounding, do your journaling, do your yoga. Excuse me, do whatever is going to help you get through some challenging emotional shifts this week. Okay. Sometimes we could just be holding on to certain memories that really broke our heart or made us feel really, sad or stomped at one point of our lives. And the divine this week is calling for us to find a way to break through that blockage, break through that, sacral blockage that we've been holding on to since our teenage years, or, even in our 20s or 30s, and heal that by addressing it head on. Don't, continue to sweep it under the rug and act like it never existed. Okay. Address it. Give yourself some self love. Okay. And you'll have a greater capacity to be more graceful and loving to others around you, especially during this Scorpio moon on Thanksgiving. Okay. So thank you so much for tuning into this message. Thank you for being here at I Am Luminescent. All right. Remember that the universe is always on your side and is always guiding you. So stay aligned, stay radiant. And until next time, peace.